it's very important for the developers of conversational AI to create a conversational AI that will be able to understand when they aren't able to not just solve the problem, but also not to deliver the best customer experience. And in those cases, hand on to a human customer relationship expert. And that is really a hard task to program for an AI to understand when it cannot help you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a whole new episode of Engati CX. To all the old viewers, you already know what we do. We have global experts from AI and CX coming over and shedding some light and some information for y'all. And for the new viewers, you're in for a treat again. We have somebody special coming on this show today. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and don't miss out on every single video that comes out. Super high value, high quality information for y'all. So stay hooked. So today, again, we have an AI and future technology expert with us on the show today. But before I introduce you to our guest, allow me to introduce you to the magic of Engati. Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code chatbot platform available across 14 channels with 35,000 bots created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by Inc.com, TechWorld, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, the video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 400,000 visitors annually. And now for our guest, none other than Fredrik Hofflander. He is a technology and business leader with a focus and a strong focus on helping companies get to the next level of their work with AI. He's passionate about building up high-performance, cross-functional, and self-managed balanced team, and is currently building and leading an organization of senior data scientists, AI developers, and data engineers. His team's aim is to become a knowledge hub within the field of AI. And that's really impressive, Fredrik. So welcome to the show, and such an honor to have you on board.
Thank you very much.
All right. So just straight up diving to the first question, Fredrik. I hope you're ready for this, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. So the first question for you is, how can companies that typically follow, the traditional analog business practices adopt AI and future technologies, and in what ways will they benefit from this adoption?
Yeah, so I believe that the first thing a company must think of is not how to use AI or other high-tech technologies, but actually which changes are needed to do better business. So if a company that has no experience with working with, for example, AI, takes on an AI project just to work with AI, I mean, that project is probably doomed from the very beginning. And the biggest issue here isn't that the project probably will fail and cost a lot of money, and in best case, a small amount of money. I think that the worst, in worst case, the company will actually blame the technology and roll out AI as mature or nothing for us. But if a management of a company have no knowledge of AI, I mean, they cannot know which part of the company that would actually benefit from AI or other future technologies. So therefore, a good start would be to find a real quick win to both test the new technology and to grow confidence.
Absolutely.
But I mean, this sounds easier than it is, I think. The funny thing is actually that AI is as overestimated as it is underestimated. So this means that you must have a good knowledge within your own domain in combination with a strong knowledge within the field of AI to choose a good project to implement. And that is hard to get. But luckily, this doesn't need to be the same person, and that's a good thing, I think. So, but a rule of thumb. But so in my experience, a very good start is to try to fill in the sentence that if we just know, then we could. And the could should generate some sort of business value. So, but I also think that when you do this kind of mind of test that. It's very important to not limit the question to what you think is possible, but to think that anything is possible. You can know anything. So when you have a couple of these sentences ready, then it's time to examine which is actually possible. And this could be done by discussing with someone who knows a lot about AI. Of course, since I'm from a consultancy, I would, of course, suggest a cooperation with us. But to be frank, of course, a lot of companies actually have this knowledge within the organization. So, and sometimes without even knowing about it. So in the end, when you have a list of these potential projects that is possible to do, and you have to determine which ones, and to determine which one to start with, you can use traditional business case analysis.
Absolutely. What I really appreciate about your answer is that you got to know your stuff first, right? About your company and about what you're trying. It's not like, okay, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. So, hey, let me just throw in AI there and maybe I'll find success in that section. So definitely agree for the fact that you got to know what you're trying to do in both fields. So which leads to my next question, Fredrik, is which emerging technologies do you believe could be a game changer for any organization?
Good question. And I think there's a ton of technologies that I believe can change how we work and that will make companies more effective. For example, RPA, robotic process automation, that is probably one of the lowest hanging fruits right now. But in the long run, I think that AI most likely will have the greatest impact. And so I believe that the biggest game changer actually happened and started a long time ago, but that will accelerate even further with emerging technologies. So, and what I'm referring to is actually data-driven decision making, which I think is the most important change here. But the real difficulty with being truly data-driven is having all needed information at the right time, but also presented in an understandable way. And on top of this, the information must also be delivered to the right person in a timely manner. So, as I see it, there are two major problems that companies must overcome to be successful with data-driven approach. So the first one is to create accurate information and especially establish precise forecasting. So today, advanced prediction of future, it's quite difficult to achieve, but and that depends on the size of the data, which is often very large, and also that a lot of soft values is also involved. And this makes the calculation almost impossible with classical methods. But luckily, since we have this all good AI technology, AI is quite good at the second part, processing a lot of data. But the second thing that the company must overcome is maybe even tougher than the technical issue, and that is the contradiction between the distributed decision that has been widely spread in the last 20, 30 years, and which has proven to be very effective, and the almost inevitable, more centralized decision-making that comes with better business intelligence systems. So therefore, that's also why I mentioned that the right information must be given to the right person. So for example, to unleash full potential, it's important to not only trickle up information to top management. So instead, AI can be used both on a large scale to take major business decisions, but also to create business insight on low levels in the company. And that actually can help employees near the actual business to make better day-to-day decisions. So thus combining the information and make an organization truly data-driven.
Absolutely. And I can't agree more about the fact that data is the new oil, right? It is the new thing
Yes.
that drives businesses, that breaks businesses down. But having data is not important. The art of portraying data to be easily readable and then to be able to take decisions on the basis of that data is the most important thing. And I can't agree
Yeah.
to you more on
Yes.
that. Absolutely. So while we are talking about data and AI and all of that stuff, so what role, according to you, Fredrik, will AI play in bringing organizations back to track post this pandemic era that is going on?
I believe that AI will maybe not have a direct role, but however, there can be an indirect role of AI post-corona. So this probably depends a lot of the company and the business area. But what I think most companies have now realized is that things can happen very fast and have a huge impact on business. More companies will probably they will take measures to be even less exposed to rapid changes in the outside world. And this means that to automate more, have even better forecast, and especially make the company truly digital, more digital than today. So, and we have seen this already, but I think this will go on even further. And making more parts of the company digital will also enable possibilities like working with advanced analytics, better forecasting, and so on. And working with these tools, that will further accelerate the progress of digitalization, which will enable even more analytics. So this will move on faster and faster, I think.
Absolutely. We all can agree for the fact that, the possibilities are very huge in the future. And, post the pandemic, people have learned actually, even to kind of manage if there is a pandemic coming in the future. Now we know how to manage that. And, these are certain advances that will be very useful for businesses also. Great answer there. But Fredrik, do you believe that conversational automation, something like that, and voice automation will be used for resolving most customer issues in the future?
Yeah, absolutely, and probably at large scale, and especially at first line support. That's almost a given, I think. And the good thing this brings is that the customer will have an open channel to any company 24/7, with not as high cost for the company. And in the near future, we'll probably be able to get quite complicated assistance, even if there are no humans available or involved. But sadly, I also think that a conversational AI will, in many cases, result in a more inflexible, unhuman treatment as well. So even if chatbots probably soon will almost be impossible to distinguish from a human, or even when it comes to such hard things to imitate, like voice or even expressions. I think there will be a long time before a conversational AI could actually understand deep customer needs and give a real personalized treatment. But so therefore, it's very important for the developers of conversational AI to create a conversational AI that will be able to understand when they aren't able to not just solve the problem, but also not to deliver the best customer experience. And in those cases, hand on to a human customer relationship expert. And that is really a hard task to program for an AI to understand when it cannot help you. Not only when you are saying that that you get the help, but also to understand when, for example, the customer are irritated or doesn't get the perfect help.
Absolutely. Fredrik, this is one of the most important points that you have brought up, that it has to be a balance between the human part of things and the machine part of things. If
Right.
because you can't push technology that way. You don't want like the chatbot to be like a robot, trying to like scrutinize your
Yeah.
brain over there. So it is very important to be able to switch to the human aspects of thing, and this is one place where Engati excels, because we have kind of like kept the customer in the center while designing our product, and while keeping all that in mind. So absolutely agree to what you say. And features like live chat support and NLP, which understands what the intent of the user is really important in today's day and age. And definitely we take care of that at Engati too. And great point there, Fredrik. So
Yeah.
hey, this has been a great conversation, Fredrik. You have
Yeah. Thank you.
amazing insights that you have put out. So before we close out, are there any other thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience today?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that most people who know me will be a little shocked about this, but don't fall for the AI hype. So what I mean with this is always think business first. So not AI or other cool things first. So being an early adopter and like just do a test or a proof of concept, that can actually lead to lower confidence. So in the new technology, there can be many fallbacks. So and a company that adopt a new technology too fast and get burned, that company can actually fall behind in the long run. So, however, if you're actually confident in the business value that AI enables, um, have confidence in that AI have come a long way and will probably exceed your expectations.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful point you've put out there. Great message to end this with. Ladies and gentlemen, Fredrik for you over here, Mr. Hofflander. So, in case the audience wants to reach you, Fredrik, what are
Yeah.
your socials? Could you mention that?
Yeah, the easiest way to reach me is probably to connect me to at LinkedIn. I have a quite unusual name, so they should be able to find me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's the easiest way, I think.
Awesome. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Fredrik Hofflander for you. Thank you so much, Fredrik, for giving us your time. Your insights have been really valuable, and I know our audience are really going to enjoy this interview.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that. And we'll be back with another episode with another expert on Engati CX. For those who have not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Great interviews, great people, great information out here. So we'll see you around for the next one. Thank you so much, Fredrik.